Hey everybody, it's the Old World Gamer, and welcome back to another episode of Retro Relics. And this is for September, and, well, I didn't really get much, but I was really lucky. At my work, I'm a cable technician, and basically I go around from house to house and, install cable for people. So basically, I went into this one home this one evening, and the gentleman there was pretty quiet. His name was Tyler. And he's, one of the first things he asked me was, do you watch much YouTube? I said, yeah, I watch YouTube. He said, oh, don't suppose you've watched anyone like Game Chasers or anything like that? I was like, oh yes, I watch Game Chasers. I also collect video games myself. One thing led to another, and when I came back in from getting something in my van, he gave me a couple of things. So let's kind of have a look at what he gave me here. So, starting out, we got pretty basic, but I don't actually have any, and it's always fun to have because they're kind of cool, especially when they have the old Nintendo labels on them as well. So they're like official, proper Nintendo old game cartridges, or like against game protectors or whatever. Another thing he gave me was a copy of Stanley Cup for the SNES. Again, this is a really random lot, but it's still pretty cool. I've already actually have a box copy of this. I think the box over there looks like someone kind of shat it out, but other than that, one of the biggest and best things that he gave me, and it's really cool because it replaces something that I have. Much better something that I have. So, he gave me the box and styrofoam for Tetris. Now, if anyone has ever seen my game box for Tetris, just give me a second. So yeah, from the front, my game looks pretty good except for right up here, right? Yeah, well, that continues all the way around to the back. So, I mean, the case itself is pretty good. The one that he gave me, as you can see, this is the one he gave me right here. It is a little bit more flattened out and has a few more extra creases in it, more or less. But the top part of it is actually completely fine compared to the other one. So, it also doesn't have a price tag on it or have any rips or whatever. Now, the other thing is that these are two completely different boxes. If you look here at the top, this one over here has the price tag, but it just says the Relentless Building Video Game Puzzle, blah blah blah, with the price tag. This one, on the other hand, has a little red seal, which leads me to believe that this one probably came out a little later, the one that he gave me. So technically, I have two variants of this box. Another thing to take note of is the Nintendo seals. On both of them, there's only one on this one, and there's two on this one. So that's actually kind of cool. I have two legitimate copies of Tetris. Now, I believe... Now, something else that actually came in the box with the Tetris box itself was, well, a little Game Boy thing. We have a manual for Shadowgate Classic. We have a manual for Zelda Link's Awakening DX. We have a manual for Dr. Mario, which I might have a copy of it, but I'm not sure if I do have a box copy, but I'm not sure if I have the manual, so that could complete it. Same thing with Star Tropics. I'm pretty sure I have that one complete in box, though. Air Fortress manual, the Tetris manual to go with the box that he gave me, and lastly, kind of out of left field here, World Series Baseball for Game Gear, the manual. So that was a little different, to say the least. I was not expecting the manuals, but he also said that he has my number and stuff. He now has my YouTube channel. So if he says if he ever finds or gets anything else, they're actually going to send me a message for me to come pick it up sometime. So I finally have one person who's kind of looking out for me here in Newfoundland and helping me with my quest for getting, I guess, a better and more complete collection. Because finding boxed Nintendo games is my biggest thing. Now, I'm going to show you the two last items that he gave me. First one is one that I don't have, but And when he gave it to me, I was very, very surprised. And it's the NES Advantage. And this, honestly, if you had told me that you had just taken this out of the box, I would believe you. There is one minor little kind of scratch right here, but other than that, the whole controller is actually pristine. And I'm actually looking forward to using it and playing with it, so that is quite awesome. The last thing that I have here that he gave me is something that I've never seen before. I've never seen one of these ever. So, maybe you have, maybe you haven't, I don't know. But I will show you what it is. It is another arcade stick. Now, the thing about this one, the Viper 3, is this. You have one here for the Sega Genesis, and you have one here for the Super Nintendo. Meaning you can use this fighting stick for both Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, which is a very cool thing because it makes, well, this controller very versatile, and it actually feels good as an arcade controller. So this is actually going to be a lot of fun to be able to play some Street Fighter, maybe some Mortal Kombat or something with an arcade stick for a change. So I'm very excited, and like I said, because I haven't seen one of these before, this is kind of like a new, wow, look what I have kind of thing. But no, I'm pretty excited for it. It has a lot of different features, a lot of extra buttons, slow motion, turbo for each individual button. There's different modes. I mean, it also has suction cups on the bottom, so you can actually stick it onto a table and, get a little bit better feel as an arcade stick as opposed to, sliding around everywhere. So, yeah, that is pretty much all I got for September. I don't foresee too much coming up in the near future unless I get somehow super lucky. Once in a while, I do have friends that contact me with a game or two, if I, again, when I am lucky. And, you never know, I might come up with something, from somewhere at some point in time, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'll find another customer that, wants to donate some games and get rid of them from their place and get them to a good home. My home. It's a good home for your games. So yeah, one thing I wanted to start doing with these Retro Relics episodes is because I'm in such a isolated area of the world, I know, first world problems, I'm going to pretty much let people know what I'm looking for in regards to, what I'm trying to collect for right now, like what I'm looking for more than anything else. Because I know that there's probably going to be some Newfoundlanders out there who watch the video, I hope. And maybe someone out there might say, hey, wait, I have that, or I have one of those. I can sell it to you, or, again, donate, whatever. I mean, I'm fine with paying for stuff. If you want to give me stuff, that's fine, too. But I've always been up for paying for any items that I'm going to be adding to my collection. Because, again, I don't resell. I'm not going to resell. So, getting to the main point, I'm looking for a complete in-box Super Nintendo. There was a guy who had one, I think, in Bay Roberts, who was selling one for about $175. I would like to get one for $150 if possible, and possibly not just the plain, just Super Nintendo in box and no game, or like no game that was actually included with that original Nintendo or Super Nintendo. So I do kind of want to find a variant, but I mean, that's not to say if I found a plain Super Nintendo in a box I wouldn't buy it. It would not be $150. I would probably pay $100 for one that doesn't have, Link to the Past or Killer Instinct or Donkey Kong or Mario World or Mario All-Stars or whatever. But yeah, I'm actually willing to pay for obviously my games and stuff. So if you know someone who's willing to sell one, by all means, show them my video, show them how to get in contact with me, the Twitter, Facebook, I mean, I have pretty much everything. Email, everything is usually included on the video description, so if you can find anyone or know anyone that can help me, please send them my way. It's always appreciated. As always, thank you all for watching. I'm the Old World Gamer, and we'll see you all next time for more Retro Relics. See you later. And thanks, Tyler.